What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Monica. Today I am bringing you the second installment of our 13 Days of Halloween series, a super creepy scarecrow. If you would like to see how I achieve this look, then please keep on watching. To get started, we are grabbing some liquid latex and taking a disposable sponge. I'm putting this in the areas right around my mouth where I want this kind of sewn up mouthpiece to be. Make sure not to be getting the liquid latex on your lips, just around. Putting down a sheet of tissue paper, tearing up the edges just to form to the shape that we need. Putting another layer of liquid latex down, another layer of tissue paper, and repeating this process about 3 times total. Once we're done with our tissue, I'm just going in with some cotton and placing this right around where the lips would be. Essentially, I'm just thickening up this area so we can make our cut in a little bit. Now we're going to take off these brows and we just wipe them off really quick, and then I'm taking a glue stick and pushing the natural hairs upwards, trying to get them as flat to my head as possible, even combing them with a little spoolie to help that process. I apply the glue about 2 times on each side, and then once that's dry, I'm taking a concealer, blending that in, and then setting it with some translucent powder. I'm repeating this concealer and powder process until my brows are gone. Next, I'm taking a brown eyeliner pencil and I'm just sketching out around my eyes, forehead, nose, bridge of my nose, and down my neck, how I just want everything to kind of be loosely laid out. Then we're going to be taking a small pair of scissors, and be really careful guys. We're going to be cutting into our mouth now and creating an opening. Now I'm taking the darkest shade in my NYX Highlight and Contour Cream Pro palette, and I'm using this to fill the inside of my mouth. You definitely don't need to do this step, because then I decided pretty quickly I was going to go in with my black water activated face paint and do it that way instead, because I decided that I just wanted it to be pitch black in there. But since I had put down a cream product, I'm going in with a translucent powder to just set it and keep it from moving around. And then over all the outside latex bits, I'm putting some concealer, blending that in, and then setting that with powder as well. Taking that same pair of tiny scissors, we're going to be very carefully poking holes in the top and bottom quote-unquote lip portions of our latex. Again guys, can't stress enough to be very careful during this part. Just go very slow and don't stab yourself. I'm then going in with some brown water activated face paint and just starting to paint the lower half of my face as well as my neck and chest. The reason I'm not painting the upper half of my face is because I still have to put in my sclera contacts, and since those are pretty big, they tend to make my eyes water. So instead of getting all the makeup ruined up there, I'm just leaving it until I get the contacts in. Next, I'm taking a black eyeliner pencil and I'm just resketching out some of my layout on the upper body and adding some new patterns as well. I'm roughly shading in those areas with some black eyeshadow. Don't worry about being too perfect with this. We're not really worried too much about it at this point. I just want to make sure to get in that depth where I'm going to be placing it. Next, you're going to be taking some of that brown water activated face paint on a smaller detail brush, and I am just going up and down my neck in between the black areas, just adding some texture and just going through the bottom and kind of doing some random crosshatch / random line work throughout there, just kind of give it some texture, and then going in with a yellow water activated face paint and doing the same thing we just did. Once I'm done with that, I'm going back in with my black eye pencil and just sharpening up and redefining those lines in the darker bits. I'm then going back in with that brown water activated face paint on that small brush and kind of doing alternating cross strokes to just add further texture and almost kind of mimic a burlap pattern. Going in with a cream contour and highlight palette, I'm taking one of the highlight shades and just starting to highlight all the areas around the darkest bits to bring them forward some more. Then taking a stippling sponge, I'm going in with those highlight shades again and stippling this all over the lower half portion of my face that I have currently painted. And then going in with some black face paint, I am painting the tip of my nose. Next we're going to grab some light colored yarn or string, and we're going to start to weave this in and out of the holes in our mouthpiece that we created earlier. I am using a crochet needle to do this, just because the texture of the yarn is a little bit difficult to get through using just my hand, so I needed something to guide it through. And again, if you're using something like this, just be careful, otherwise you can just most likely use your fingers. Next I'm going in with some black face paint and painting little holes around the string areas. And then using that cream highlight shade to go in between those holes, blending them out, softening them a bit, and then going back in with that stippling sponge to blend it further. Pop in some Spooky Scalara contacts. I'll have my discount code down below for where I get my contacts. You can get some for yourself this Halloween season. And then I'm going in with some brown eyeshadows around the eyes, but then I quickly decided I was going to go over all of that with just black eyeshadow. Once I'm done with that, I'm doing some brown face paint around the top half of my face to finish that off. Doing the stippling technique again with the highlight shade, and then going in and redefining those forehead wrinkle bits we had drawn in earlier with some eyeshadow, doing some wrinkle marks in between the eyes, and then going in with that cream highlight shade to bring out those lines we just put down. I then decided I didn't like those top forehead wrinkles, so I'm going in and blending them out. It's a process, guys. Redrawing them in, refilling in, and reshading them, and furthering extending the little bits right around where my brow would be, and doing some detailing around the nose and under the eyes. And then going in and highlighting all of that. And then doing little stitch marks on the nose. I'm also going through and adding a little bit of that yellow water activated face paint in some areas, give it some additional color. I was super excited to use this theatrical blood spray, but then
hello darkness, my old friend.
So I switched that out with some good old normal drippy fake blood. And taking this on a brush, I'm just using this to apply it on my neck and have it drip down, and then using that brush and flicking more blood all over the place for a splatter effect. So doing this on my upper body, on my face, also focusing it around my mouth, and then going in with some scab blood on a cotton swab and putting some of this inside the mouth and along the lip portions and on the little dot hole things we created. And once you're satisfied with how your creepy little scarecrow is looking, it's time to put on the rest of your outfit. I got most of my accessories from Spirit Halloween. And that is it, you guys. You are now a super spooky scarecrow. As usual, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, let's chat and be friends. Also be sure to subscribe if you have not already, if you want to see any future videos and projects that I put out in the future or for this Halloween season. This is look 2 out of 13, so we have many more to go. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'll catch you in the next video. Mwah.